Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. So in this video, we're going to be comparing the different platforms New Zealand has to offer for its investors. We get a lot of questions from friends asking which platform is the best one to use. Well, there's no correct or straightforward answer to this. It really depends on a few factors, including what type of investor you are, how much money you're investing with, and so on. So in this video, we're going to compare the platforms on some key points, such as fees, coverage, and some pros and cons of each platform, and go over some examples of which one might be the best for you. By no means this is a video telling you which one to use, it's more just laying the information out on the table and seeing which one is the best for you in which scenario. So let's jump right in. So the three platforms we're going to review are Sharesies, InvestNow, and ASB Securities. Sharesies and InvestNow are the new kids on the block and have only been around for 4 to 5 years, whereas ASB Securities is the old timer and has been around since 1999. Although ASB is old, it does have its benefits, but we'll get into that a bit later. So let's jump into the first and arguably the most important comparison, the fees. Okay, so beginning with Sharesies, the original fee structure was the monthly fee of $1.50 for portfolios between $50 and $3,000, and $3 a month for portfolios greater than $3,000, or $50 annually. Additionally, the transaction fee for when you buy or sell are 0.5% for orders up to $3,000 and 0.1% for orders greater than $3,000. However, the good news for the current and future Sharesies account holders is that as of 29th of April 2021, the monthly fee is being terminated. This is great news unless you're an ETF investor. Currently, Sharesies does not charge any transaction fee for buying and selling ETFs, but as of the 29th, the standard Sharesies transaction fee will apply, meaning 0.5% on orders under $3,000 and 0.1% for orders over $3,000. So essentially, if you're not an ETF investor, this news is great. But if you do tend to trade in ETFs, this might be a little disheartening. This brings us to our next platform, InvestNow, which does not charge any transaction or admin fees. The only fee is the fund fee, which you will be charged regardless of which platform you decide to use. But if you're an ETF investor, InvestNow does seem like the more attractive option. Moving on to ASB Securities. There's a reason why other platforms are competing against this old timer, because the transaction fees for ASB Securities will break your bank, especially if you're a small or a new investor. ASB charges a flat fee of $15 for transactions up to $1,000, a flat fee of $30 for orders between $1,000 and $10,000, and a 0.3% fee for orders over $10,000. Alright, now moving on to the coverage of each platform. Sharesies originally had only New Zealand company stocks and funds, but as they grew, they saw an opportunity to expand into other markets to attract more investors to their platform. They introduced being able to buy US company stocks and funds. Furthermore, the latest addition to their coverage is that now investors can buy and sell Australian company stocks and funds. So Sharesies covers the three key markets, New Zealand, US, and Australia. Moving on to InvestNow, they only offer funds, no individual company stocks. They offer direct access to 140 managed funds. As for ASB, the coverage they provide is in New Zealand company stocks, Australian stocks, and access to any smart shares funds. Okay, so now that we've compared the fees and the coverage for each platform, let's list out the pros and cons to get a more clear picture. So beginning with Sharesies, coverage is definitely a pro as they cover New Zealand, Australian, and US company stocks and funds. Another pro is the fees. The fees are significantly lower than ASB. For a $1,000 spend, you'll be paying a fee of $5, whereas with ASB, you'll be spending $15. Even spending on orders over $1,000, Sharesies turns out cheaper just by the way that their fee structure is set up. On top of that, Sharesies itself is so beginner friendly. When I first saw a friend using it, I was amazed at its simplicity. But of course, this platform doesn't go without its drawback. One being that it doesn't show market depth. Market depth is a list of current buy and sell orders at what prices and is super useful when making trades. Whereas ASB gives you market depth for free, Sharesies charges you $10 a month to get this feature, which is kind of ridiculous. On top of that, Sharesies on a normal account has delayed pricing. The pricing shown is not real time and is usually delayed by 20 minutes. This is crucial because when a price sensitive announcement is announced, 20 minutes can be a huge deal. You want to know how the market is reacting to this news so you can make your decision on whether to buy or sell. And the last con for Sharesies is that you don't technically own your shares. The company holds it on your behalf. This is only really a con if you're one of those people who like to have the satisfaction to know that the shares you own are directly connected to you through a CSN number, which is your ID in the market, and all your trades and shares are linked to that ID. Now, moving to ASB. The clear pro for ASB is the market depth and the ability to see live pricing and trade without seeing delayed pricing. Also, When signed up with ASB, they sign you up as an investor with a CSN ID, which, like I mentioned, is what your transactions are linked to and how the market identifies you. In other words, it makes it a bit more official in some sense. However, the con is the fee of using ASB. The transaction costs are very high, especially if you're trading with a low investment amount. A lot of the transactions will go to fees. Additionally, it's not as beginner friendly as Sharesies is. Moving to InvestNow, the pro being zero transaction fees unlike ASB and recently Sharesies. But the con, of course, being only having access to funds, and also InvestNow requires a minimum $250 lump sum transaction or minimum $50 if you're on a regular investment plan. Now for the golden question which you are here for. Which platform is the right one for you? Well, my guess is if you clicked on this video, you are rather new to investing, and as anyone does when they are new to something, they like to test the waters before jumping in. So based on that assumption, let's just say your initial investment value to test the waters is below 1,000. Now, ask yourself, are you into managed funds investing, buying into individual companies, or both? Firstly, if you're investing with a low amount, ASB should be out of the picture. The fees alone itself will eat up your investment money just by buying a few things, which leaves you with Sharesies or InvestNow. Now, which one of these to choose depends on your investing style. If you're only going to be looking into managed funds, then InvestNow is the clear option as there's no transaction or admin fee. But on the flip side, if you know going forward you would like to dabble in all areas, funds and individual stocks, then Sharesies is clearly the more attractive option in terms of fees, coverage, and simplicity. Hopefully you can ask yourself these questions and come to a rather easy conclusion. And hope this video laid out all the options you have in an informative way. Let us know if you have any questions, but as always, make sure to smash that like button if you found this useful, and subscribe button if you haven't so already. We'll catch you next time.